Today I'm giving some advice to young tuba players. These things will help you play throughout the range of the tuba more effectively, and just give you some tips on some things to look out for as you develop your playing. So first of all, posture is very important. We want to sit very tall in our chair, the front half of the chair, with our feet flat on the floor and our spine tall. And then we bring the tuba to us. So if I turn my tuba up to me, I separate my legs to the right point where I can get the mouthpiece to come to my already good posture. You don't want to slouch to your tuba or be straining to your tuba. Now, for younger students, often the tubas are too tall. So you would need to sit back on your chair a little bit and rest it on the chair. Now if I do that, the mouthpiece comes a little bit too low for me. So I do rest it up on my legs. Now, some students are even too short that way. You can use a cushion to boost yourself higher, or you can sit on a couple books, or if your school happens to have a tuba stand, you could rest the tuba on the stand in front of you. So that's just a quick posture tip. Now, the most important thing perhaps on tuba is to make sure that we use our air effectively, and which means we need to open our jaw quite wide. For other brass instruments, they need a quicker airstream than we do, but generally we play very low notes, so we need very slow moving air. So I would practice taking breaths and with your jaw very open. A breath almost like you do when you breathe to speak or to sing, but maybe just take a little deeper breath. And from there, we actually just sort of firm up our corners a little bit with that open jaw and bring our lips together and buzz into the tuba. When we do that, now I don't expect you to be able to buzz without the tuba or the mouthpiece like that, but it is possible to buzz on the mouthpiece. Okay, so that's a moderately high note, especially for young tuba players. But we can go a lot lower than that just by then adjusting our air. Slow the air down. So that's two of our open notes that we can get on a B-flat tuba. And if we open the air even more, okay. Now, ideally, we don't want to be puffing our cheeks too much. I do a little bit in the lowest register, and that's okay. But let's strive to not puff our cheeks. Let's find a way to open our air up enough with a very open jaw and very slow air. If our air is faster than we want in the low register for that low note, we end up loosening our lips an awful lot. Like if my air is, then I need to puff my cheeks to get the right note to buzz, and it doesn't end up being as good a sound. And then when we go high with really loose lips like that, we have to work extra hard and strained for our air. So it's a combination. We want to get used to slowing our air down for the low notes, and then we can keep our embouchure, the corners in, and not too puffy down low, which will make it easier when we go back up higher again. Now there's one other element that you've probably heard me doing, and you may have noticed. I use my tongue when I start the air too. And that's really important for all wind and brass players. But on tuba, you know, we play a lot of things like marches. And when we do that, it's actually easy to get in the bad habit of going, huh, huh, huh. I can do it. And so that's not terrible tuba playing. But as I do that, the bottom note, that low B flat that we play a lot, it's one of the first notes you'll try to learn. The air ends up coming way too fast through my throat, and you can hear that it's sort of the way it started. If I can practice, it's it's easier to get the appropriate air that we need down low. I'll demonstrate that one more time. And actually, as I see that, I'm puffing my cheeks more than I want to myself even. It's not a terrible thing, but I do try to keep control down low a little bit better than I am. Now, so that's how we start the note using our tongue, using appropriate air for high, medium, or low notes, fast, medium, or slow air. And now if we do repeated notes, we can do that on one column of air and just keep the air flowing while our tongue comes up. So I'll demonstrate again. Our tongue is just touching our teeth again in that 2 position. Go down a note. So as I do that, I'm flowing all one column of air and interrupting the air with my tongue. What we hear a lot in young players, again, is to do the extra notes with a different puff of air kind of coming from our throat. Kind of like that. And it's difficult for me to do, even demonstrating. I can't make it sound good. But if I use my tongue, you can really keep it connected and get a great clear tone on every note. Now, so changing registers is the last thing I want to mention. I've alluded to it before. We change the speed of the air. But so from that low B flat, as I talked about, I want open jaw, corners in quite a bit, slow air. Going higher, same embouchure basically, a little faster air. And then for our high B flat, faster air still. And from there, if once we get good habits doing that, we're relaxed enough, our embouchure set in a good way, we can just blow faster air and go higher and higher. So those are a few tips to get started with good habits on the tuba. There are lots of fingerings and things and rhythms and everything else that you'll learn about the instrument, but it's these important elements of it. How you use your air, how we try to not puff our cheeks and keep our corners set, and use our tongue and articulate that way will give you a really good start on the instrument. Have fun. Bye-bye.